Hey, so check this out. This is the foyer of the Second Church of Greenfield. Check it out. Kind of cool. Some of it's got, you know, a little bit of storage behind me there. We've got over here, which will be another video, so I don't get into it right now, but we've got a cool, you know, tchotchke display case right here, and so that's kind of fun. But again, more on that later. But this is an area of the church where, you know, people enter the sanctuary, right? So here's the door, sanctuary right there, where we were last week for last week's video. Cool ceiling. But anyway, you know, they come in, they go over here. Here's our big door. And then check this out. See that? It's outdoors. And they come in and then they go in there. At least in theory. Most members of the church actually, and most visitors of the church actually tend to use the back door. But people still use this, and it's important to keep the area welcoming and friendly. So on Sundays, we always have someone here, you know, around 9:50 when people start to show up for church, to give people a brochure, order of service, bulletin, pick your name, and then go through these doors again into the sanctuary, or straight through the sanctuary to the parish hall where we've been this summer because of the heat. But I thought you might like to take a look at it because it used to be a huge thing. All right, people would just come through the front. But as with a lot of things, you know, you have your friends over and stuff. Sometimes they come in through the back door, and that's fine too. But it is a neat old space. Sunday will not be about the front of the church, the foyer, the front hall, take your pick. It will be about the Lord's Prayer and about words and how we use words. The Lord's Prayer, of course, or the Prayer of Jesus, or the Our Father, it goes by all those names, has many different versions, and people sometimes go, oh, I like the original version, whatever that happens to be for them from when they were younger or when they started to go to church. But really, all these versions, of course, are translations, and most of the ones we know are translations of translations, because Jesus spoke Aramaic and our resources are in Latin and Greek. So it makes you think a little bit about the prayer, and it's not really to knock on the Lord's Prayer at all, but to understand that, you know, when Jesus was teaching us how to pray, which is how it's put, oh, sorry, I was painting, how to pray, which is how it's put in Matthew, right? So we're saying this is, when you pray like this. The idea is the meaning, the structure, the connection that you have with the divine, not so much the specific words. We usually use specific words in church, and sometimes they change depending on the situation, but that's because we have to use the same words and you know, get used to that sort of feeling of connection, at least the same words that week. But that's, you know, that's what we're going to talk about. We're going to talk about how we pray and what we pray, and the words we use for prayer change over time. So if you're coming to church, or even if you're not, it's a good thing to think about. What are the words that work for you right now? Or are there no words, right? Sometimes we sit, we connect, we meditate, either in a structured official way or in a more general kind of way. And all that stuff, right, is prayer, or it's spiritual connection. You can choose the words you want to use there. So let's think about that, and hopefully if you're around, I'd love to see you on Sunday morning at 10, whether we're in the sanctuary in there or, you know, in the parish hall beyond. So that's all for now, except that, look, I wanted to show you these old stairs that go up to the choir loft. Anyway, I'll see you then. Bye.